All right, hello, 1306 group. Here to just be sure that everything is going smoothly. Up to this point, you should already have access to your Pearson. Um, you should be familiar with the discussion boards. I thank you all, those of you that have introduced yourselves, given me some positive quotes, that kind of stuff. So good, good. Thank you for that. I'm trying to go, in each one and reply back, something short. But so also Labster for the 1106. I'm like you all, I'm still in the process of learning that software as well. I'm having to go through it from a different route. You go in through the student side. I'm having to come in through the instructor side. So I want to try to figure out and see what you're actually seeing as well. So that it will take a little while, but no worries. There's nothing due yet for lab. We won't have something due probably till the end of next week for the lab. I do want to get into just a little bit of maybe like philosophy, teaching philosophy, that kind of stuff. So we did go over the little introduction. So I posted my introductory video. I'm learning a little bit about you. You're going to learn a little bit about me, and we're going to learn about each other throughout the semester as well. So one thing that I think is not part of the academic side of the course, but it's just part of life, right? Something that I think you're going to have to develop over this semester is the idea of balance, right? So everything in this picture is kind of indicating some sort of balance. So there's that physical balance that, we don't fall over when we walk, but more realistically, it's going to be the juggling, the balancing of life, the balancing of everything around you, while you're able then to focus on school. Now it's very different. Like if we were actually in class, when you drive to campus, you put yourself in that academic mindset. You're ready to learn. Okay, you know what? No distractions at home. Kind of like this bottom picture. When you go to the gym, you're in that working out mode. If you try to work out from home, I don't know about you, but I find it very difficult. Too many distractions. It's not necessarily convenient. We don't have the right equipment, that kind of stuff. So we're going to have to learn how to do all that, how to focus at home, right? So different things you're going to have to juggle. If you have little ones, maybe little ones of your own, little brothers, little sisters, they're disruptive, they demand time, they demand attention. So finding a place, a time to be able to sit and focus on your work is going to be important. You're going to have to juggle work. Maybe some of you work. That demands a lot of your time, a lot of your energy. So having that balance between work and life is complex enough, right? That's complicated enough. Now we're going to complicate it more with material coursework, Labster work, Pearson work, reading the book, exams, that kind of stuff. It's going to take even more time from your life. You're going to have to find a balance somehow, some way, and it's going to be different for everybody. Yeah? So we still got to have fun in life. Some of you love video games. Some of you find, working out fun. You have to have a way of de-stressing. How to, once you have all that energy, okay, I want to just don't think about that, right? So for me, it's running. For people's working out. For art, music, whatever the case, that you can find something positive to release all that stress. It's going to be an important skill that you learn this semester. Scholarships, internships, all these things demand you volunteer and build up your resume and all that stuff. So again, all that is still part of the life of a college student. So again, juggling and finding balance is going to be a critical aspect. I've taught for over 20 years now at the collegiate level. And it's sad to say, but it's not always the smartest student that makes it to the end. It's not the smartest student that gets into the nursing program or makes it to med school. It's the student that is persistent. It's the student that manages their life, manages their time, prioritizes. I always hear this. students say, well, I work best under pressure. I like to wait to the, to the last moment. I like to procrastinate because I work best under pressure. I disagree. I think you work best when you can put your full energy and effort. Time management is important. It reduces the amount of stress that you will have, and it just makes you perform at a better level. Yeah. So it is good to perform good under stress, but again, manage your time so you're not right up against each deadline. So that it's not the ingredients for a successful, biology student there. Yeah. And I know it seems kind of um, obvious, but you got to find time for rest, right? So a lot of you're worked up so much throughout the day. You try to go to bed and you're thinking about, well, man, I got to do this tomorrow. I got to do this. Oh my God, I'm so tired, but I can't sleep. So again, that involves the de-stressing. You got to be physically tired as well. We can be mentally exhausted, but if our body is not physically tired, we don't rest well. And so I don't have the magic ingredients, the magic secret, the strategy that's going to work best for each individual. You're going to have to find that out for yourself, but basically keep all these in mind and please try to find that balance of everything. And if you can accomplish that, I know that there's nothing I can throw your way throughout the semester that will knock you back down, right? So you find the balance, time management, and again, keep up with the course. And I'll be very honest, I'm here to challenge you. I'm here to make your life a little bit miserable this semester, right? That's how you grow academically, how we grow mentally. So again, we'll get into that next week. We're going to start, with a full lectures and that kind of stuff. So just trying to set the framework for the semester, making sure all the technology is kind of in place and the right mindset. Yeah. A couple of things to expect for the semester, right? Different ways of learning, right? And I think a lot of you are good with this. Most students are pretty good memorizers, and it's worked from grade school to high school. And if you, let's say you had a test on Monday, right? You take the book home on Friday, you don't open it till Sunday night, you read a few bold words, you memorize some bold words. On Monday, you do good on the test. Okay, that's worked up to this point, but things are going to change this semester. Biology is not a memorization course, right? We do have to memorize some vocabulary terms, things like that, but it's not sufficient enough. If you want that A, that really strong grade, you can't just rely on memorization. And I suspect this has happened. A lot of you aced an exam, and then 2 weeks later, you forgot all the stuff that you memorized. Yeah. So that then you technically didn't learn, in a long-term type fashion, right? So you're going to need this material. You're going to need to learn the material this semester for Bio 2 or for Anatomy 1, Anatomy 2, and you're going to need it for the rest of your academic career. So put some effort, learn it in an actual manner, not just in a superficial memorization mode. And I'm going to give you practice with this throughout the semester, but if you're just studying what is biology? What is photosynthesis? What is the electron transport chain? What is mitosis? Those are just little phrases, little definitions that you can memorize, right? It's the first step to gaining full knowledge here. Yeah? I want to teach y'all, give you a lot of practice on how to analyze information, how to make sense of data, how to construct graphs, how to interpret graphs. We're going to try to get to this centralized concept, the idea of biology being a conceptual course. If you can start to answer the question, why did this happen? Why does this work like this? Then you're actually at the level you need to be for this semester, right? The conceptual level. Biology is a conceptual course. Biology is not a memorization course. Right? Concepts, connections. Once we understand concepts, we can then apply them. Once we understand chapter 4, we can link that up with chapter 5, right? And once we understand different concepts, we can sort of make different connections, really integrate our knowledge, and that's going to be a critical skill that my A students will figure out, and the B and C students will struggle with that, right? So again, if you can make the connections, it's a good chance you're going to end up with an A. If you struggle to find the concepts, if you struggle to make the connections and connect the concepts, B or C level students, right? So that's your challenge for this semester. Now in lab, normally we would do all our procedures. Right? So how do these things work? Hands-on practice. We don't have that necessarily this semester, so we're relying on Labster, and I think for as good as Labster can be, it will still fall a little bit short of actually being in the lab. But again, we just are adapting to our current, online COVID mess. But again, these are some of the cognitive demands that will be placed on your brain, right? So the what, the memorization, the why, the conceptual knowledge, and then the lab and the hands-on, the how. So just a little bit of practice, right? So if we were to analyze a child and we ask the child, hey, little Johnny, how old are you? And they tell you, I'm this many. Okay, and let's say this kid's third birthday. Happy birthday to you. So it's the kid's third birthday. There's the cake. There's the balloons, piñata, whatever the case. Yeah. And on the child's third birthday, if you're to ask little Johnny, how old are you today? Do you think he's going to do that? Or is he going to do that, the 3? I suspect he's going to do the 2. Right? Because for a long time, a year, he's memorized that if I do that, when they ask me how old I am, oh, they think I'm cute and they pinch my cheeks and it's so good, right? But does a kid actually know that each finger represents a whole year since his birth? So the concept of one finger now representing 365 days, another 365 days, another 365 days, yeah? John Lennon here, you think he's telling you that he's 2 years old? Or does now this same symbol refer to a different concept, right? The concept, hey, peace, brother. Yeah, that kind of stuff. So, you know that if you hold up one single finger, I'm number 1, yes. If you hold up another certain middle finger, it has a different concept. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean you're number 1 anymore, right? It means somebody else is number 1 or something. Yeah. So the idea of conceptual knowledge. Biology is a conceptual course. So again, we'll practice and practice and practice, and I'll give you these different types of demands and challenges to your brain. And I want to try to force you out of the memorization mode. Right? Memorization can help us understand concepts, but once we understand the concept, we don't have to memorize anymore, right? I bet you understand the concept of addition. You know how to add numbers. Well, once you understand the concept of addition, you don't have to memorize every single possible combination of numbers to add. That'd be too much stuff to memorize. All the possible addition problems that exist out in the world, right? It's too much. We don't have to, because we understand the concept of how that little plus sign, this plus this equals this. So if you understand how to add the concept of addition, there's no need to memorize, and it takes up like less space in your brain, right? We understand a few concepts, and we don't have to then memorize all this stuff. It becomes very stressful to memorize. And I've had students in prior semesters that have photographic memory. And you think, man, they can memorize their notes, they can memorize the board, they can memorize the book, but they still struggled in the course because they tried to keep it here and they didn't bring it into the conceptual mode, right? So it's important. Once we understand the concept, that's centralized, that's core. We can make connections to other concepts. We can then start to become analytical we can carry that concept over to the lab. So there are two-way arrows everywhere, except for the memorization. Memorization, once we understand the vocabulary, memorize the terms, it can lead us to here. But once we understand the concept, there's no more further necessity for the memorization of these terms. Yeah. So we understand what the concept means. Just found something off the web here, right? But the what, right? What? Something that we might memorize. What animal is responsible for the most human deaths each year? Sharks, snakes, hippopotamuses, I don't know, hippopotami, I don't know how you say that, plural, humans, or none of the above, right? So this seems like something that we should be able to memorize. What is okay? Which animal is responsible for the most human deaths, right? And it may surprise you that is none of the above actually is the mosquito that is responsible for the most human deaths. Okay, we can memorize that, the what, but I think it's more interesting the why. Well, why is this little mosquito causing so much chaos out in the world, right? Well, they're vectors for disease, malaria, dengue fever, West Nile virus, all this mess, right? So again, this is the way that we'll kind of focus on our concepts, right? Focus not on the what, but on the why. So with that, again, I think that's a good point to stop this little video. Just trying to set the framework, set the stage for you to know what you got yourself into this semester, and basically to move forward next week and into the content and learn some stuff. Yeah. So with that, y'all have a good day and keep an eye out for the next video. Yeah.